everybody. Happy Friday. It's Rich and Barry Cat. I am broadcasting from Las Vegas, Nevada. It's been a wonderful week. It's the end of the week, TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. Everyone is doing well. So it is 10 a.m. here in Las Vegas, Nevada, 12 noon in Texas, and 1 p.m. for those in the East Coast, New York City, Philadelphia, Baltimore, Virginia, and 6 p.m. in Nigeria, West African time. So, welcome everybody. I really truly do appreciate all of you coming in here and participating in this live YouTube session. We are going to be talking about agriculture today, the agricultural sector. That's going to be the main today's topic. So, uh, welcome on. And in particular, they're going to focus more on the oil palm farming. So I have a couple of guests scheduled to come in today, subject matter experts in the oil palm space in Nigeria. Uh, they are going to be providing, let me just okay. So we all know. I mean, I'm originally I was born in Lagos, Nigeria, but my family is from Akwa Ibom State. So I grew up around palm trees as a kid. Uh, Growing up in Nigeria, moving between Lagos and Akwa Ibom State when I was younger. So we grew up around the oil palm farming. Okay, and in those days, I'm talking about the I was born in 78, so I'm 46 going on 47. But I'm talking about like our father's generation, my grandfather's generation. They cultivated like the tall palm trees. These days, I would say like in the past 10 to 15 years or so, a lot of people are now focusing on the dwarf version. In Nigeria, we call them the agric. We call them the agric version. That's what a lot of people are focusing on right now. So you look at it from, and I think we can all agree that at one point in time, Nigeria was, if not the world's largest producer of palm oil, we were at least the largest producer of palm oil in the African continent, and definitely in sub-Saharan Africa. So when oil, not edible oil, or just PMS, regular crude oil, was discovered in the 60s, there was this pivot, and rightfully so, it had to happen. So the country pivoted away from agriculture. Remember, we were a leader in oil production, in palm oil production at that time. So we pivoted away from agriculture into oil. And we did that for a whole, literally 60 years. So it's recently now that a lot of effort is being put in what is called the non-oil exports and the non-oil manufacturing. So we realize that with the invention of energy, solar energy, there's starting to be a shift now from fossil fuels back to just the traditional non-oil exports. So agriculture is starting to come back a little bit, but I don't, it's going to take us quite a bit of time for us to get to where we were before we abandon agriculture altogether to focus on fossil fuel. So it's going to take a little bit of time. And I can tell you that it may not happen in our lifetime, We just got to be honest because we had abandoned the sector for 60 years. Uh, hello, Ali, welcome on. So we've abandoned the sector for 60 years, but now the country is starting to come back. Okay, we're starting to come back. I'm getting a lot of messages into all palm. So a lot of my audience are Nigerians in the diaspora, particularly Nigerians in the United States looking at investing back home. Okay. I know our market is strictly Nigeria, US Nigeria markets, but we get a lot of people from all over the world, the UK, United Arab Emirates, China, India. Okay. Thank you so much. We are Ajani. Welcome on. So this is my first time doing this live on mobile. I usually just do it on my desktop. So just a brief history on what's going on right now with oil. So currently, Nigeria is still not able to reach equilibrium phase, meaning we are not producing enough palm oil to be able to meet local consumption. So equilibrium is when production meets local consumption. That's when it evens out. And then the surplus is what you export. We are not there yet. We are producing less than the country needs. And as a result, we have to import. And I know it's not nice, it's not really what everyone kind of thinks, but in all honesty, Nigeria imports palm oil from countries like Malaysia, countries like India, and even China is now entering the palm oil space. So we are importing palm oil as well from these countries because we are unable to meet the local needs of the people. Okay. I'm getting somewhere here because what I'm trying to do is I'm creating a platform for you to show the investment opportunity in the agricultural space, specifically in the oil palm space. Some people call it oil palm plantation. I really don't like using that word plantation, but let's just say for the sake of this live session, we're going to call it oil palm investments. Because there's so many sectors or so many subsectors that goes into oil palm investing, and I'm going to get to that. So right now, we are importing, I'm telling you, we are importing palm oil from Malaysia. So majority of the palm oil that we are consuming in the country are not even Nigerian made. They are being brought in from countries like Malaysia, India, like I mentioned. Okay, why is that? It's as a result of 60 plus years of neglect. 60 plus years of neglect. We literally made a U-turn. We went from being the top producer of palm oil, the top supplier and exporter of all palm products, to then start focusing on regular PMS and crude oil, which we still do today. So the opportunity is there. Now, when you look at like for instance, I'm just going to give you an example. The Nigerian stores that are out here in the United States. Just if you are watching this from abroad, the next time you walk into a Nigerian store anywhere in the United States, walk straight to the section where they are selling palm oil, grab one, flip it around, read the label, and read where it says made in, the origin. Find the origin of that. I'm telling you, you are going to see more made in Ghana palm oil, made in Burkina Faso palm oil, than you will see made in Nigeria palm oil. Because there's a shortage of Nigerian palm. Akwa Ibom, my family is from Akwa Ibom State. Akwa Ibom State has some of the best crude red oil in the country. A close second is Ebonyi, like Abakaliki, palm oil and all. That's a close second. The eastern part of Nigeria, like southeast, and we basically have, because we have the arable land, we have that natural, healthy soil, we have the climate to support it. But the moment these original palm oil leaves the origin states like Akwa Ibom and Ebonyi State and starts filtering out into the rest of the country and into the world, that is where it gets a little bit tricky, because throughout that value chain, that process, it gets adulterated. And the reason why merchants do this is to be able to expand and make more profit by adulterating it and mixing it up. So by the time it gets from Akwa Ibom State to, let's say, Lagos, it has already been adulterated. So you are not getting that quality oil. We used to export Akwa Ibom palm oil into the United States. I'm talking about direct village, direct from village straight to Lagos, from Lagos untouched straight to the United States. And we were selling it for what? Others were selling 1 liter of palm oil for let's say $20. We were selling ours 12 ounces, small bottle for $20. And the reason why we're able to do that is because original, authentic, straight from the village. So I was able to share the story behind where the palm oil came from. I'm giving you this story because I'm telling you the opportunity there. Let me tell you why we stopped. So what I would do back then was we would bring them in this 20-liter yellow jerry can. And then once they arrive in the United States, we would then rebottle it. The process just became very cumbersome for me to take it from a 20-liter jerry can and bottle it down to like a 12-ounce bottle for US retail. It just became very, very, and I didn't enjoy the process anymore. And the reason why I stopped altogether was because I couldn't find a bottler, a bottling service in Nigeria that's going to bottle this palm oil to United States standards. And I didn't want to do that to my customers. Because me, I value my cost. I know the customers that I have in the United States. You got to deliver what you say. If it's authentic, you got to be able to deliver the best quality bottling, the best quality branding. Because I wasn't able to do that anymore, once we sold out of the last batch, we decided to stop. The point that I'm trying to make is in the value chain of oil palm production, I'm going to cover quite a bit of what is there in that value chain and where you can come in as an investor in the United States or abroad or wherever you are. So when you look at, so as a result of us not being able to meet our own standards, because we wanted to get away from packing the oil ourselves. All we wanted to do is like we have the customer base, we have the buyers. We just want to bring the goods in, sell them directly to the buyers without us having to touch it again and rebottle and stuff like that. And Nigeria doesn't really have that. At least my supply chain didn't have that because I was getting it directly from the village. So when you look at like the processing of let's say red authentic crude oil, by the time it's harvested and transported back to the processing facility, they've already lost 25%. because things are still done manually in Nigeria. And that is where you come in because you can help mechanize some of the process. And even during the processing during the processing part of it, they're still going to lose an additional 25% because it's been processed manually and not mechanically. So by the time that palm oil reaches your kitchen, it has probably lost 75% of its value. And that is why Nigeria continues to struggle with competing on the world stage with more advanced countries like Malaysia, where everything there is more mechanized, and India, where things, China, the world's factory, where things there are a little bit more mechanized. So those guys can compete at a price point that Nigerian suppliers can't. On top of that, they've already surpassed equilibrium, meaning they are providing enough oil for their own country, and then there's a surplus that they are selling to countries like Nigeria. At one point, the world's largest producer and exporter of oil, we are now reduced to importing it. Same thing is going on with Gary now. Same thing is going on with Gary. So let me give you some data. GDP. So in 2024, Nigeria's GDP in 2024 was $363 billion. Agriculture is 25% of that. Agriculture is 25% of that. So in that subsector, the breakdown, you're looking at crop production, which is largely the highest in this subsector is that crop production. Then you have livestock. That's the second. Fishing and forestry is the third and fourth. So approximately 88% of the agricultural sector is in crop production. The estimated value of that is 80 billion naira. We are dealing in billions here, not millions, or billions of naira. But we are still largely behind other developed nations when it comes to agriculture. So Carter said the process of palm oil is tedious and takes long to harvest. So many farmers cannot wait 3 to 5. Unfortunately, it's just nature. It does take about 3 to 5 years from the time that you plant your seedling until the time that it starts fruiting, depending on the species of that particular seedling, it can take up to 3 to 5 years. So, in the value chain of all palm investments, all palm farming, is not just in the crop production. You can come in different capacities. One, you can just be a landowner. I'm talking to you abroad. My uncle is he's based in Akwa Ibom State. He has an all palm farming business. I'm talking about those. So his is a hybrid mix of the tall ones that we grew up on and then the new version, like the dwarf version. He has about 100, 200 stands. Do you know what he does? He doesn't even harvest. He just leases the land out to other people. He will lease it out for 4 years, 2 years, 3 years. Okay, this is your 1, 2, 3, 6 stands here. That's for you. 5 stands. That's for you. And all they do is just come. They are responsible for maintaining and harvesting their own palm fruit, and they just collect money. That's a subsector that you can get into. The buying of existing, and the thing about existing oil palm um, business is that nobody's selling. I've been trying to buy. There's a guy in my village. I've been trying to buy his land with. He's got 60 stands. I've been trying to buy it now for 5 years. He's not selling. The guy used to be based in the US. There was something that happened with him. I think he got deported or what have you, and then he ended up back in the village. Now he's an all palm, quote unquote, plantation owner. So what I'm thinking about doing, and I'm researching it right now, it's like I have a waterlogged land currently in my village, a waterlogged land. But unfortunately, and I'm considering like just making it a small plantation, planting some palm oil trees there. But that land is not good for that. It's good more for like raffia palm trees. But if you are willing to wait that 3 to 5 years, you can just buy raw land. I'm talking about people abroad. Waterlogged land should be rice, yes. But the the uh, the agricultural consultants that I consulted with told me that oil palm is not going to work for that waterlogged land. That it has to be, I have to do like raffia. Like raffia is the only thing that can work there. Raffia palm tree. Yeah. So so that's what I'm considering doing. But like I'm saying, they're not selling. People who own these lands, this palm tree, all palm tree land, they are not selling. But here's one thing that I know about this particular all palm business is that it's one of the businesses that you can invest in remotely from anywhere in the world because it's indestructible. Even if you were to go today and set somebody's land on fire, it will grow back. Once the root system has established, the all palm will grow, all palm tree will grow, will regrow and regenerate. So there's the angle of you as a prospective investor coming in, buying farmland. And I know a lot of you are afraid of your village. You don't want anything to do with your village. But that is where it will start for you. You gotta reconnect with your village. Because you're not gonna find an all palm land in Lagos now or Abuja. You gotta go back and reconnect with your village. And for those who want to cultivate, now is like the time to actually do that. So we are in April, entering May. So you are planting towards the rainy season. So if you already have, for those who already have land and you want to look into something like this, now is the time to start planting those seedlings. Because literally you're planting straight into the rainy season and you don't want to be planting at the tail end of the rainy season towards the dry. So if you don't want to get into, I mean, so you're looking at it from the perspective of remotely. What can you do remotely from abroad where you don't have to break your back? You don't have to worry. You can start with just buying a piece of land and start the process of cultivating. You know that in the next 3 to 5 years it's going to fruit. That is one angle you can get into in the value chain of agriculture. The next value chain is packaging. Actually, I'm going to save packaging for third, processing. If you don't want to get into the actual farming of the oil palm, you can start in a palm oil processing service. Because right now, I can tell you that the majority of the people who are processing these things, they're doing it manually. Uh, buy land fence. I don't think you need to necessarily. I mean, yes, you want to buy the land, but fencing it is not really necessary. Especially if you want to go into the oil palm crop production business, you don't really need to fence. Because what's going to happen is when you buy, you're just human nature. You start picking up other lands close to the one that you've already bought. And the goal is to expand. So my own now is like the one that I have is a very small one. I'm talking about like the waterlogged land. And the reason why I bought that land was because there's this tract where my property is in the village. I'm trying to buy that entire, is what ranchers do here in the US now. So what I'm starting to do now is I'm just picking up small plots in that tract. And before you know what's happening, I'm going to own that whole thing. But I'm just starting picking up small. Yes, you can get a processing machine, but try and stay away from those local ones. I am very, very pro Nigeria. I'm pro Nigeria, but you got to stay away from the local ones. I'm trying to look at like China. Look at China. If you want to start on a small scale with the processing machine, look at China because the local ones, you're not going to be able to buy parts for them. They are locally made, they're not really standardized. So you want to look at China for something like that. But again, like I was saying about the processing facility, you just need a small piece of land and just build a small open air processing facility and just become a processor. This is something you can do in your village. So then it was brought up to me now. Bros, if you want to do this, forget about farming, just open a processing joint, a processing facility, have a couple of machines. You will become not only the go-to processing facility in your village, but in the entire local government. If you don't want to do that one, you can just get into just packaging of agricultural products. You see all these value chains that I'm giving you. Because packaging, Nigeria has a packaging problem. You buy something from somebody, they'll deliver it in a nylon bag. Nigeria has a packaging problem. You can come into that value chain as a packager, importing packaging supplies from China. Even if you don't want to do ready-made packaging supplies, you can be importing packaging raw materials from China, and you are selling it to packagers, packaging companies there in Nigeria. They will then turn this raw material into small pouches and bags. Another value chain, you can become an agricultural consultant. That's another value chain for you in this agricultural sector that I'm giving you. I had an agricultural consultant on the podcast like 2 or 3 years ago. He advises investors abroad on how to invest in agriculture in Nigeria. That's what he does. I had him on. Smaller items, herbs, plants. That is all part of the agricultural industry sector. Yeah. So all the herbs, all that stuff that you listed is part of the agricultural sector. Cassava too. Let's not listen. Cassava, you don't even want to go there. I know this video is not about this session is not about cassava, but stay away from cassava. Cassava is a prima donna, very, very high maintenance. We did it for 2 years. And the thing about cassava is, I'll probably say like 90% of Nigerians only process cassava for gari. They don't even think about starch. They don't even think about animal feed. They don't think about other derivatives from cassava. It's just straight gari. I was in a gari business. Gari is highly profitable if you can make it work locally. Gari is not even an international play. Gari is not an international play. Gari is a localized play. Gari, I sold out of 2 tons of Gari in 45 minutes in the village. Sold out. It's it's just the shelf life of Gari production that's the issue. Cassava, rather. Because from harvest to processing, you have a 3-day window if you want that optimal product. From the moment you harvest to the moment you process it, you say 3 to 4 day max. I give you 4 days. You can't go more than 4 days. Egusi is major. Egusi in the US. The demand for egusi in the what haven't we tried here at Americans? What haven't we tried? The reason I stopped, we used to import egusi from Nigeria and selling it to. The reason why I stopped because I just didn't like interacting. The product sold. You see, the problem that we have is, and right now we're actually looking at solving that issue. Is we are looking for co-packers in Nigeria that can just do everything for us in Nigeria, pack the goods for us in Nigeria, send it to us in the US. All we have to do is because we have the market here already. So if you are in the egusi space and you have authentic, I'm not talking about going to the market and buying egusi from market sellers. I'm talking about you are an egusi farmer. This mail you that's what you do. Send me an email. Right? Port Harcourt Airport area, that's good. You're in Houston, Carter, that's what's up. So the oil palm. One of the biggest issues right now, though, is people stealing theft. We went through that when we were farming cassava. We are going to have that. We're going to have that. It's almost like, how can you prevent people from encroaching on your land and stealing your crops? You could integrate CCTV camera system across your prop. That's if you are truly, truly serious. You can integrate that into your system. Hey Rashad, come on, I'm waiting for you. Let's bring you on. Let me see if I can bring on Rashad. Sorry, no, I don't want green screen. No. Rashad, where are you? I just hit something right now on my phone. Pardon me. This is my first time doing this live on this phone. So I just hit something and it turned the background green. No, I don't want to retouch. I just want to get back to there it is. Yeah. So Nigerians, you gotta start looking into getting into spaces like the agricultural space. There's just so many sectors, but you're looking at a particular sector that contributes 25% of the country's GDP. Part of another issue with Nigerians is a lot of us don't want to roll up our sleeves. We don't want to roll up our sleeves and work. That's one of the things that the agricultural consultant told me because uh, everybody's looking for button up, collared, white collared these jobs that are briefcase and stuff. Nobody really wants to roll up their sleeves to do farm work. Pardon me, guys. So my superior is there, Mr. Chris, online to join the conversation. Where is he? I can't find him. You can just join now. How do I send invite to guest? I'm going to send this invite to you, Rashad. Then you just send. So this guy that I want to bring on, hopefully he can get on this thing. They have a I guess a platform where Nigerians abroad can invest in oil palm production. So I want to bring him on to come and talk about it. Hey Rashad, let me know if you can join. But you see that value chain that I'm talking about? You don't have to get dirty. You can start with land, you can plant your own seedlings, you can get into the agricultural processing space, you can get into packaging, you can do consulting, you can do online training, webinar if you can get into that as well. But I think again, if you want to be hands off, instead of just buying raw land and just keeping it there and waiting to flip it in 5 or 10 years, put some all palm trees on that land. Does anybody know how much seedlings cost? Because the last time I checked in at Fiber was like 1,500 naira for one seedling. Even if you are just starting with 100 stands, 100 seedling, the dwarf version, you can do that. Okay, let me try this one more time and then. Hey Rashad, can he get on? Because the only way that I can bring some like a guest onto the live is for me to do it via my phone. I can't do it on the desktop. So theft, it's going to be difficult to 100% eliminate theft. That is people going in, and this is a problem. You're gonna have people that they'll be monitoring your tree. Once it starts fruiting, they'll go in the middle of the night and start harvesting your crops. So the best way to solve that issue is put CCTV camera all across your properties. I used to have that issue, I mean, in my land, until I installed CCTV camera. So how is it that I cannot bring you on, Christian? Let me see. Hold on 1 second. Hey, Christian, can you join? Bear with me, oh guys. If you can't join this one, you're just gonna have to link up another time and do this. I'm on the call, but you are not hearing me. Okay, you are speaking, but yes, I can't hear you at all. Can anybody else on this live hear Christian? Because me, I can't hear him. Rashid, I sent you the link already. I don't know. You want me to add you? I've already sent you the link. Send invite link to guests. Let me send it. Don't worry, guys. I will improve on this next time. But the people that I scheduled to come on, they're saying that they're speaking, but me, I can't hear them. All right. So if you want to get into this space, this all palm space, shoot me a DM. Join the Mberiket WhatsApp group. And next time I do this, I'm going to actually test it before I do it to ensure that the guests are able to sign on. But yeah, unfortunately, Christian, I know you're speaking, but I can't see you and I can't hear you. I know you're writing. Just what can you share with the viewers before we go? Then we can do this another time. There is. Okay. How now?
I'm very well. Good evening.
Good evening.
I've been struggling to get your attention.
So what did you do different? You just sent something.
No, I connected on my laptop before, and I've been hearing you. In fact, you came after. I was already on the call before you joined. Then you started talking from the beginning. I followed you. Then you said we should speak. I checked if I was unmuted. No, but I was unmuted. But I was speaking, but you weren't just hearing me.
No
So
problem. Well, I was actually about to sign off, so this is actually a good sign. So you've heard what I said. I mean, tell us
yeah,
about.
yeah.
Also, me, I'm aware of your company, and I'm aware of the value that you provide. But I need more information. So go ahead and just introduce yourself and tell us what is it that you do and your expertise in this space.
Okay. Thank you for having me. Thank you so much, and thank you, Raj. My name is Christian Itemike. I work with Asset Rise. I am head of subsidiary sales. And Asset Rise is a real estate company, but we got this idea of the use of land, not just for traditional means of building. The traditional experience people have is buy land, build a house, rent it out, and that's the only thing they know about rental income from the land. But we got this idea that we can real estate and agriculture can be together. The previous experience that people have was terrible, where they said, invest, give us money, we will plant, and we will share profits. But a lot of those companies, almost 100% of them died because they couldn't meet up. They promised 60% profit, give us money, we'll plant cassava, we'll plant even perishable food at short time perennials. They couldn't meet up. But we had this idea that land, you don't have to build on the land to make money from it. And we got this sustainability idea. What can we put on the land that while you are waiting for your land to appreciate, you are earning from it? And good enough, the esteemed group managing director of the company, Asset Rise Limited, his father was a palm tree farmer. He grew up there, then later came to UK and came back to Nigeria to establish this business. So it's a combination of real estate with agriculture. The one that gives the security for the investor. How does it work? You buy the piece of land. It's an ownership model. You own the land 100%. You are not giving Asset Rise money to plant for you. You buy the land, you own the land 100%. Then the land comes with palm trees. So the name of the product is called Palm Rich. Right now, we are in the phase 8 of it. We just launched the phase 8 of the estate. We've done phase 1, 2, 3, all along, and then we are in phase 8. So you buy the land, you own the land 100%, but the land comes with palm trees. You don't pay for the trees, you don't pay for the maintenance. We plant the tenera species. You remember you were talking about the dwarf and the other different kinds of species. We plant the trees for you, we nurture it for the first 3 years. It takes about 18 months to 36 months for it to fruit. So, but
Hey,
after
Christian.
it starts,
Hey, Christian. Hold that thought for 1 second, okay?
yes, sir.
1 second. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so when you plant, we plant for you within 36 months, that's 3 years, your palm tree start fruiting. Because it is ownership, we cannot harvest your palm trees. So you decide at that point if, oh, I want to do the harvesting myself, the processing for yourself, for myself, the packaging, storage, and off taking. Whatever you want to do, you have to decide. But Asset Rise is there for you because we look at it from the passive income angle. I am doing my other business, I'm working, or I'm not in the country, I'm somewhere else doing something else. But why this is going on for me? So if you decide that, oh, Asset Rise, keep managing it for me, you have to now sign an MOU, a farm management agreement for Asset Rise to harvest your palm trees for you. So if you do that, Asset Rise is going to take 40% of the revenue, while the investor or the owner gets 60%. And this income is supposed to run for up to 30, 40, 50 years of the productive life of the palm trees, while your land is appreciating. The land belongs to you 100%. When you complete your payments, you get title documents transferring the ownership to you 100%. So at any point in time, you can decide to say, okay, I want to sell, like some people have done. So, okay, I have this issue, I want to sell my own, and you sell off and collect your money. It's yours 100%. But the value of the land keeps appreciating while your palm trees give you passive income every year. So that's the sustainability model we have for our palm rich. You buy the land, it belongs to you 100%. We can take it for inspections, and we have designed it in such a way that it's not a debt model on Asset Rise. So Asset Rise is not carrying the burden. Whatever uh, projected revenue we have put forward is not a debt on Asset Rise, it's equity. You have part of the property, we have part of it. So what happens is, depending on the productivity and the price of oil, we can have more than the projected revenue, or we can have the projected revenue, or we can have less of the projected revenue. And right now,
So,
we have an estate that is already fruiting. That's add-on. with C
Okay.
of O on it. It's about 150 acres property. We've sold about 30% of it. So, and last 2 weeks ago, we presented the accounts for those who bought about a year ago, because after every
Oh, we lost you there. Okay, I think I lost him there. I wanted to ask him what the buy-in is. Like, what is the minimum? So it looks like in instead of what Christian is saying is instead of people buying a land and building, throwing a building on that land, you're essentially buying an all palm land, and then you pay them like a management fee for them to manage the palm trees for you. And then when you want them to, if you want them to like harvest the palm tree and process it for you, that is also a service that they offer. So it looks like it's more of a hands-off investment play for those living abroad. Um, for those living abroad, which makes a lot of sense. I think it's oh, okay.
okay,
Yes.
okay, sorry,
Now
my
NEPA take lights.
no, we are on inverter. We are on
Okay.
inverter,
Okay.
so
So
the
let
inverter
me
is
ask.
short.
So what I was trying to explain to the viewers is, are you guys national or are you regionally based in Ibadan? Like, where is your HQ? Where is your headquarters?
Okay, Asset Rise headquarters is located in Lagos. We are in Lagos, Omole Phase 2, around Bega area. If
Okay,
you are used to
I
Lagos,
know Omole. I know. I used to live in
yeah,
I am
Omole.
living in Ogba, so I'm familiar with
Okay,
Omole.
okay. See, it's Omole Phase 2. That's
Yeah.
yes, that's where
Okay.
our headquarters is,
Okay.
and
So
we
then
already have
the
we have this
farmland.
experiment.
Where is the farmland right now?
Okay, we have Phase 1 and Phase 2, and
Okay. Can
so and
people
those are already sold out.
go in and inspect?
Yes,
Can people go in
exactly.
and inspect this farmland before they to see how if it's legit?
Yes, we have free inspections every week for some of the estates. The one in the Badon, we don't do every week because it's a little distant. So we make maybe every month we go there to Ibadan is the phase 5, and it's with fruiting palm trees. We bought it as a fruiting estate, so it's with fruiting palm trees. So when you buy from Ibadan, you don't wait for 3 years for it to mature. Within the next 12 months after your final payment, you are supposed to earn a passive income for the first time, and you keep earning. So the phase 4 and the phase 6 already sold out to it is in Adod water. And then we have the phase 7, which is also in Adod water. It's a 3,000 hectare uh, property, which we are which is still selling at pre. So that's the locations we have. And as I said, we planted a pear about 3 years ago. It's already fruiting.
Okay.
So this year we will start production. In fact,
Okay.
tomorrow we are going to a
So
pear
let me say
for
this. So
inspection.
the investor comes in. What is the
Yeah.
minimum? Because you know some of these real estate land sellers, they will tell you 500 square meter. They'll tell you 1,000 square meter. What is the minimum buy-in for? Just take us through the process of the buy-in. If I were
Okay.
to come in and invest in this all palm, how much, as far as like the land space, and also how many stands comes in initially if I'm buying
Yeah.
a plot?
Okay. Okay. Oh, let me start with phase 5, which is in Ibadan. The minimum is all our land. A plot is 500 square meter. So anywhere you buy, even you buy in Lagos, you buy in Ekpe, you buy in Ibadan, or Ogun State.
How many stands can I put on a 500 square meter plot of land?
We can only put 10 trees.
10
Each
stands.
plot, yes, each plot contains 10 trees. That 10 stands,
Okay.
and
And that 10 stand I own it outright, or who owns that 10 stand? Who owns it?
You own it. You own if you own the land, you also by law you own every property on the land. So if you buy a palm rich estate, because we have also have a residential, and I'm going to, I hope I have time to explain a little
Go ahead.
about the one in Adodo Water.
Yeah.
So a plot comes with 10 stands. You own it 100%, and so an acre comes with 60, and 1 hectare comes with 150 trees. All belong to you, and we are supposed to deliver to you 10 fruiting palm trees at the end of the period of 3 years. So that if
Okay.
you decide to harvest and do it yourself, you can get the income 100%. We have a projected income from based on facts we gather from the experts, from NIFO, from Okitupa Oil, from the other people who also produce these things. So one tree by Google is supposed to produce about 25 liters to 70 liters of palm oil in a year. So that means your 10 trees should be able to produce about 250 liters for you in 1 year. If you take the 25 liter we used to sell here back here to package oil, it means you get like 10 gallons. So the next thing that we can determine now is what is the price.
Okay.
So we now projected a price of 30,000 naira per gallon.
Okay.
As at the time we did this projection, oil was not up to 30,000 naira. But last year, oil went up to 70,000
Thousand.
naira. And that is the beauty of our model. It is every fruiting palm tree estate will be registered as a limited liability concern, so that all the owners, all the landlords are shareholders. So whatever comes out of the farm, if it is more, we share it. If it is less, we share it. So asset is not a debt model, as I said. And
All
this
right.
particular last year, those in Ibadan got a little more than the projection.
Okay. So let me add something. Lagos is sold out. Yes.
Ekpe, we can still sell premium in Ekpe because it's already fruiting. So the price is quite high. If I want to go by the pricing, the one in Ibadan is 5 million. Although we are running a promo right now, you can buy 3.5 million, and that's all inclusive of the documentation and
Okay.
everything about the statutory fees is included, because we also believe that with rapid rise of population, there may be pressure on the land to build more houses in the future, so it can be converted sometime in the future.
So you can
So
get rid of the. Okay. So let. Okay.
it's designed like an estate.
Okay. So I come into the asset rise estate, and I want to buy a 500 square meter. Just follow me here. I want to buy
Okay.
500. I want to buy a 500 square meter plot of land, right? Which
Yes,
comes with
sir.
10
10
stands,
trees.
10 stands of dwarf palm trees.
For palm
Okay,
trees, yes.
that are owned outright. And you are
Yes.
running a promo now for that for 3.5 mil.
Yes.
Okay. So now, let's say I come in and I buy that land with the 10 uh, trees on that land. For the
Yes.
first 3 to 5 years, that land is appreciating. Nothing is happening, right? Because there's no fruiting, there's nothing there, nothing is happening.
Yeah. Except the one in Ibadan that already fruiting.
Except the one in Ibadan. So let's just say the one in Ekpe is not. I want
Okay,
to
no,
start
the one
from
in
like the.
Adodo, and Ewekoro is we are planting from scratch.
You are planting from scratch. Okay.
So you
So
wait for 3 years.
you
Yes.
wait for 3 years before, but at the same time as you are waiting, the land is appreciating.
The land is appreciating, and more than that, you can also intercrop. We for those who buy big, we can intercrop for them, and then
Okay.
they make profits. So if you buy like 1 hectare, for instance, we can intercrop for you. We'll give you the cost of intercropping corn or cassava or maize or yam, sorry, on your land. We'll tell you it will cost you 1 million to plant. After 9 months, we will sell up for you and give you 35% profit on whatever you invested to plant those property, to plant those crops. So for the first 2 years before it starts fruiting, you can do the intercropping as a separate business and be making money on your land before the palm tree starts fruiting.
Because that intercropping is not, you can intercrop within a year. You understand what I'm
Yes, yes,
saying?
12 months. Yes, 12 months.
Yes, instead of waiting for, okay, I see what you're
Yes,
saying. So you guys offer that service as well. Like you don't
yes.
have to wait 3 to 5 years for this palm tree to fruit.
If
You can
yes, if you
intercrop,
have
let's say
extra
corn
money,
and
we can
cassava.
intercrop it for you.
Yes,
Yes,
and then you
and then
guys will
you get
handle the management of that land.
yes, yes. We will handle the management because we are supposed to deliver your fruiting palm trees to you in 3 years' time. So we cannot allow you to personally manage the intercropping. We will do intercropping for you, so there will be no excuse in the future. We'll manage the
Right.
intercropping for you. Just tell you, oh, this is the cost of intercropping of yam, cassava, or maize. So you choose what you want to intercrop. You give us the money, we'll plant it in 9 months' time, because most of these crops are 9 months. Yam is 9 months, corn is about 9 months too. So we plant and give you an uproot sale and give you
Right.
your money while your
Okay.
land is also your palm trees are still growing.
So another question I have is, so let's say I come in, I buy my land with my allotted 10 trees on that land, and I
Yes, sir.
decide that I don't want to intercrop and I decide I don't want to harvest. Can I, let's say, if I have a 5 year window, it's 2025 now, let's say I come in, I'm talking about
Yes, sir.
me right now, I'm not talking about just generally.
Yes.
So
Yes,
let's say
sir.
I come in and I have a 5 year investment window. By 2030, if I decide to sell my land for a profit, is that allowed?
Of course, you can. You can sell it yourself, or you ask the company to sell it. And I'm looking like. Okay, let me move away. There's a little noise here. I'm looking like it's going to be a good business for us because Okomu has about 17,000 hectares of palm trees farm, and our goal is to have about 10,000 by this year. So we are almost hitting that goal with all that we have right now. Right now, we have over about 8,000 hectares of palm trees that we are farming in all these phases of our estates.
Okay.
So sorry, it's dark in the staircase, but I will get
Okay.
light. So you can. So, but if you don't want the intercropping, no problem. We are not going to intercrop. It's just 1 hectare intercrop on my one and do this business. This is the company. This is where I just came outside
Got
of
it.
the office. So that's the model. As I said to you, it's one that we don't want to cheat the investor also, because if we promise a fixed amount of returns and the price of oil keeps going up, we are cheating you.
Okay.
So we did it that way. So it's not killing the company, it's also not cheating the
So
investor.
so for me, this is how me I would invest, and I'm very interested. It doesn't take a lot for
Okay,
me
sir.
to get excited. I'm very interested. If I were to go into something like this with your company, I'm not even going to touch processing. I just want my land and I want my tree on the land. Knowing
Yes, sir.
that in 5 years, I just want to resell my land and maybe turn that profit into another one. Can I do that? Because that way I don't want to get into the messiness, because sometimes
Oh,
processing can be messy.
of
I
course,
don't have to deal with
we are
the fluctuation of,
a whole
of
lot.
palm oil prices. Can I just do that?
Okay.
You see me, I'm very,
Yes,
very
sir.
practical that way.
We are we are doing, explaining to people that land banking is more profitable with palm trees farming. What this model
Thank you. With palm tree on it.
do for you, the palm trees first and foremost increases the value of your land. Secondly, it improves the security. If you buy land and you don't go there, no, you don't plant anything on it, most national real estate in our company are transacting on the land. So there's activity on the land. Apart from the money that is bringing you, it secures the land. It secures Ibadan. Ibadan is 3.5 million on the promo price, all inclusive. In Adodo is 1.7 million, 1,350,000, sorry. 750 for the land, 600 for the documentation. So with 1,350,000, you can buy a plot in Ota. And at Ota, we have a fantastic project. We call it the Agro Smart City. A city that has some part, you know, you were describing the value chain. We have a sector for industrial. For those who want to come say, oh, I want to invest in machineries. Since this place is going to be an agro center, an agro hub, I want to invest in setting up machine to process palm oil. I want to invest in setting up machine to process cassava, because a farm in a 3,000 hectare is not a mini plan. That is just our own. There are other people that will have farms there that will farm that can feed your machine. And the reason we are even doing this is so that when we install machines, we will not be running at below capacity. We will have enough to feed it. So you as an investor, you can come. We have the industrial sector of the estate. We have the residential sector of this particular estate. We have the commercial sector, and then we have what we call the agro boulevard. Those who say, I don't want palm trees, I want to plant something else, I want to do livestock, we have a session for that in the estate, in that 3,000 estate in Ota. Yes.
Wow.
So that's what we do. We are doing in Ota. And last year, the GMD was invited to the House of Commons, the House of Lords, twice to do a presentation on this, and got some foreign partners who want to power that estate. A city powered by agriculture, a city where you are living within nature, and everything, there is no waste. A city of zero waste.
I see.
You talk about the value chain of the palm trees. Everything from the palm tree. In fact, most people that do palm trees, they also have their own rearing of cows. What do you call it? Ranch. They have ranches.
Ranching. Yes. Yes.
Palm tree feeds the livestock. The livestock can graze under the palm trees. You don't need so much labor to clear it. So it's a city that we are looking at. The one in Ibadan, we bought it as already matured palm trees. Right now, we are planning to set up a ranch there because we are already producing palm oil from the one. Everything is there. Who monitor what we are doing, because we have to be accountable too, and we cannot just say we are accountable and everybody believes. So we have a board of trustees, and then we also have a platform where all the landlords are put together. We give them information from time, or the management team for each estate. They are the ones that check our books to be sure that, oh, the harvest is okay. They said they harvested this, they said they produced this. At the end of the year, this is what was sold. They are the ones that even take decision on when to sell. Last year, we didn't want to sell when oil went to 33,000. Everybody was excited because our projection was 30,000. Okay. At the beginning of the year, 2 years ago, at the beginning oil was around 15, 20,000. Okay. But we used 20,000 because we know the price of oil used to go up during the off-peak period of the palm trees.
Okay, so when it was 33,000, I'm going to. I know you have a lot, and something. I will bring you back. Okay. I will bring you definitely, Christian, back again another time. Okay, for us to delve more into this. But just before we wrap up, you are saying you are running a promo right now. So if I'm not. Yeah. I'm just talking of myself. If I want to invest right now in a 500 square meter land with 10 palm trees on it, how much all include? I lost him. Yes, if I want to invest right now in land banking with you with 10 stands on that land, okay, in Ota, you're saying like what you are currently at right now is in Ota. How much is it? Yeah. How much is it out of pocket do I have to pay for it with my documentation, everything?
Okay. Ibadan is 3.5 million on promo, 5 million normal price. The one in Ota is 1,350,000 on promo for a plot.
Where is Ota? Where is Ota? Because I don't know where. I've heard of Ota. Is where?
Ota is in Ogun State.
Okay.
and in US.
Okay. How far is Ota from Ekpe?
Oh, that they are in two different directions. They are in opposite directions, so it should be very far.
Okay. How far is
They are in two
the one in
opposite
how far
directions.
is the one in Ibadan from Ekpe?
That's out of Ibadan is Oyo State, so that's also very
Okay.
very far.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
So the one in Ewekoro, we are not selling in plots. We are selling.
Got it. Got it.
We,
Got it. Got it. Got it. Okay. Well, that's really good to know, Christian. I cannot
94
see it
million we
right
buy.
now,
Before you
but if
let
you
me
can get
go,
to a place
just
where you can show yourself, I want you to tell people where they can find you and your business and your company. So then that way they can learn more.
okay. Let me just. I went downstairs, but I left my wife
Got it.
down upstairs. Let me pick it up and go back. Wi-Fi, where are you? Okay, I got it. So I said again, our office is located at plot 775
What's the name of your
Shumide
company? You have to tell
Odudinri.
the name of your company.
Asset Asset Rise Limited.
Okay.
And before I give you answers, on Sunday at 7 p.m. Nigerian time, we're having a global oil palm summit. We are the leaders, or we are the foremost people in this uh, type of agriculture with land ownership. So we have a global seminar. We have a lot of clients abroad, and then we're also trying to do what you are doing now to encourage our people to invest back home. Because if you own a plot of palm trees, for instance, beside the passive income, beside the generational wealth transfer, beside all the benefits, land appreciation, land ownership that you get, you are contributing to employment generation in Nigeria. That's what we are talking about. If we interconnect, that means more people will be employed. You are contributing to food security in Nigeria. Last year, we harvested over 1 million yams from Epe in Lagos. In fact, the commissioner had to come and visit the farm because they couldn't know that anybody could plant yams and harvest over 1 million tubers of yams in Lagos. We did it with our Eco Yam project. So both intercropping and the investment part of it. So you'll find us in Lagos here, and I will ask Rash to send you an invite. I'd like you to attend the global webinar because the GMD will be there. We'll make the presentations. We explain to people how that it is also safe. The beautiful part of the model is that, like you said, he said, if something happens to the palm trees, for any reason, there's an act of God, the palm trees don't produce, the palm trees die, your land is there because your investment is tied to an asset. The problem with every investment has an element of risk. There's no doubt about this. But because this one is tied to an asset, you are on the safe side. It's almost 90% or more than that.
So
Good for
what?
you.
How are you guys preventing theft? Because that's a big deal right now in agriculture in Nigeria. With people, is there a
Yeah.
security system in place for
Yes.
that to prevent that?
Okay. Firstly, I told you that is the farms are not really pure farms. They are organized like like estates, because we hope that it will develop into an estate in the future.
Right.
And because of our model of this agro smart city, we have sections divided. So it's a planned estate. We are fencing it around.
Got it.
This old estate is going to be fenced around. Then also we have security inside. If you go to Okitupa Oil, you may not see fence, but you will see that from every 5,000 kilometers, they
Thank you,
build
Rashad.
some high-rising towers where the security men stay to guard. So we have security on the land, and also we heavily involve the community,
That's
the
true.
communities. So what we did in an area we went to, we said, okay, come and plant on this land. We bought it from you, but come and plant. The plant is your own. We are going to buy it from you when you are harvest. So they were happy. What more security do you have more than these people farming on their own land and they own it. So we have so many ways, and this is the reason that we haven't gone to some states. The Enugu state government, we have gone to discussion, we have traveled to Enugu state, sat down with the governor. Any state that the government is not involved, we can't do it because security is a
Got
major
it.
concern.
Got it. Got it.
The Enugu state government has 7,000 hectares ready for us, but we cannot go somewhere where people cannot go for inspection. You know the situation in the north, in the east. There's
Yeah.
a lot of calls. Come to the east, please come to the east, come to
Hey,
the north.
listen.
But
You can come. You can come to Akwa Ibom State anytime.
yes.
You
If
know.
we
You know.
have,
You know. You know. Akwa Ibom is safe now. You know. You can come to Akwa Ibom anytime.
yeah, if we have partnership, if we have a lead there that we can get up to the size of land that we want to do, why not? We can partner with the government. We have what do you call it? Chevron Cooperative. They have about 100 acres with us. We are doing it for them,
Got it.
and individuals are buying into this big. Last year, somebody bought 10 hectares in Adodo. This year, the
Wow.
same person is a lady. The same person bought 20 hectares. That's 300 plots in Ewekoro. So people
Wow.
are knowing them because they have seen, they have checked us out. They know that, oh, we will do what we say we can do.
Yeah.
We are doing our bit, and we encourage everyone to invest with us. But that global oil palm webinar, please, I want everyone who's hearing me to attend. Rash will send you the link. You can share it,
Okay.
and the GMD will be live on that webinar. It's 7 p.m. Nigeria time. That means it should be like 7
It's
p.m.,
gonna
like
be
2
about
p.m.
11 a.m. Yeah. Yes. Yes. No.
Okay, like
And you're saying it's
11 a.m.
on Sunday.
It's on Sunday. Yes, it's on Sunday. That's the best day we can have a general where people don't have to be at work. Even if they are not at work, they are free. They can be in a good time to connect. So
Sounds good.
we will be there live on 7 p.m. Sunday, and we'd like you to be there also. So you can ask
I
all the
will.
questions, more questions that may come up. You can we like I said, we take people for free. Inspection is free. On every Thursday we go to Adodo Water, or we are trying to fix Ewekoro for Friday because we haven't gone for inspection. It's a new estate. We are just
Got it.
clearing and planting now. We are clearing and planting now. So by next week, then next month, inspection will next week or next month, inspection will start fully, and then it will either be on a Friday or Saturday before you pay. And then some also we can give you the document of the land. You can do your own personal search when you are convinced, you are satisfied that the land is free from all government uh, interest. You can now make your payments.
Nice. Nice. Hey, this is good information. Thank you so much. We will definitely look into Sunday. I don't, as of
Yes,
right
sir.
now, I don't have anything going on Sunday, but I'll definitely attend. I'll attend the
Okay,
webinar to
sir.
learn more. But I think this is a great business model. I think it's going to favor a lot of people abroad who may be a little bit apprehensive about investing in Nigeria. But here's one thing
Yeah.
that I can say: land banking. I was fortunate in 2020 to buy land near Bejuleki.
Okay.
I paid 800K for it in 2020 when people were just scared. They didn't know during the pandemic. Now, right now, you can't even offer me 20 mil for me to accept.
For that's it, and it's even more profitable with pumpkin farming. We bought a property in Oluwura here 2 months ago because we also try to build houses, apartments for to sell.
Yeah,
That is another part of real estate which we also do. The owner of
right.
that property bought that property at 500,000 just
Wow.
about 10 years ago. We bought
Yes.
it for 230 million. We
Seriously.
bought it 230 million. The receipt is there, so the man cannot hide, cannot lie that he bought it for
You see.
XYZ million.
I'm
Five
telling
hundred
you,
thousand is
that
what
was
is
it.
there.
The only regret I had was, and again, I didn't
Then
have
not
the
buying more.
information. I didn't have the information then
Okay.
than I do now. So my cousin picked up six. Me, I only picked
Okay.
up one. Because I'm like, this one that I'm going into like this. This Niger way they talk so. Me, I don't know. I only picked up one.
let me
That is my only
let,
regret.
let me close with this for some people who are listening. Maybe they are not close to oil palm like you are. Okay, just check, Google it. What Presco and Okumu Oye declared as profit for this current past year. Over 100 billion Okumu Oye declared. and they are paying their shareholders 26 naira for every 50 kobo. That's what they are going to pay. They are just waiting for approval. They're going to pay in May. Okumu Presco declared over 70. Some and palm tree is sustainable. That's one of the is very
Yes.
resilient tree. You said it that if there's fire on it, if you put out the fire, rain falls on it, it's going to grow
It
back.
will going to grow. So long as the
Okitipupa,
root system is established, you're
yes,
fine.
Okitipupa was planted by Awolowo. It was abandoned for about 10 years. Today, it's still producing money. It's still
Mhm.
producing wealth. Like when people hear maybe you have heard of plucking money from the tree is palm oil.
That's it.
My GM, this father, used to make example with us, and then we travel with him. I think in January to his village, he was doing something. We travel with him. His father's driver. After years after the father died, he left because there's no more work for them. Everybody had gone. He's a palm tree farmer today. Bought acres of land. He's an illiterate, but he commands money. He doesn't speak English. He doesn't know what he is, but he knows the figures. It, all his children are abroad in the first place. So, but he's a millionaire. That is what palm trees can do to anyone. And just in case you are there,
Guys, land.
you don't want to own the land. You don't want to own the land. We have an investment package for the phase 8 that we are selling. You can just pay for the land. You don't pay for the statutory fees. In 9 months' time, we will buy it back from you, give you your money, give you 30% return on investment. We are just mopping up funds so that we can plant as many. Palm trees can only be planted during the rainy season. You said it that this is the right time to plant.
Yep.
So we want to clear as much. The new one in Ebekoro is almost 5,000 hectares. So we want to clear as much as possible now and plant as much as we can now. So you can do that investment part of it. With 1.8 million naira, you buy one acre. You don't need to pay the statutory fee of 1.9 million naira. You just 1.8 million. In 9 months' time, you will get your money back with 30% returns. And there is guarantee. We'll do an agreement with you. And if you want a post-dated check, just for more security, we'll give you the documents of the land. So when we want to pay you back, you return it to us. That's the investment part of it. So 1 hectare is just 4.5 million also. You can buy multiples. 4.5 million naira in 9 months' time is a guarantee. We are not going to negotiate in 9 months' time. It's already agreed that we will buy it back from you at 30% because we are going to sell it at higher price. By the end of this month, that estate the price is changing. It's 300,000 per plot. If you divide 1.8 by 6, although we are not selling in plots, that's 300, but we are going to sell almost 4.5 million per acre after the end of this month. So thank you for having
Yeah.
me today. Thank you
Thank
so
you so
much.
much. Thank you
And
so much for your
I'll
time.
be
I'll
glad
I'll, I'll be in
to
touch
come
with
back.
you, and I'll definitely look into your webinar on Sunday. Okay.
All right, sir. All right, sir.
All right.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you,
It was
Christian.
great.
Take
It
care.
was great listening to you too. Thank you.
Likewise. I appreciate your time, brother.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
So you
So
have Rach's
asset
number.
rise.
They can reach out to Rach for whatever they want. Even
Yes,
if
the
it's a
Raj
group,
is on our platform. I'll definitely get
so
your info
if they
from him.
want group discounts, if they want special packages, Rach, I can make it. I can make it
You
happen.
can make it happen for members of the America, no problem. I
Yes,
actually
yes,
like that I like that incentive a lot.
I can make it happen. And
All
on
right.
Sunday there will be some incentives after the webinars. Just maybe 24-hour window incentives. So if you want to join, you will get something good at the end.
Sounds good. Thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.
All
Thank you for
right.
having me.
Sure thing. Yes, land banking, guys. Land banking is the real deal. I've talked about this before um in previous videos. In 2020, I bought a plot of land in Ibejuleki this was during like the beginning of the pandemic. It was my cousin that actually put me onto that project because he invested in 6 plots of land in Ibejuleki, and I only did one because there wasn't the Embarker platform didn't exist at the time. I was apprehensive at the time on investing in Nigeria. 800,000 naira was what I paid. I think the land was like 400k. and then an additional 400K for documentation. And me, I picked the corner lots, the one that's just on the corner of the street. That's the one that I picked. I think I paid an extra 50K for that land. Today, I give me 20 million naira, I'm not accepting. Because of what's happening in Ibejuleki. You can't even find land in Ibejuleki anymore. Even Ekpe is sold out. Now they are going deeper and deeper into Ogun State. Nigerians in the diaspora are picking up lands in this concept of this all palm land that Asset Rise is talking about is something you definitely want to look into. I don't have any affiliation with them, but it's something worth, because think about it. Instead of just buying raw land, you are buying raw land with 10 stands of all palm tree on it. Even if you don't want to process, you just want to flip that land in 5 years, you already have it's like you have an asset on top of an asset. Because all palm trees is not like cassava or yam or stuff like that. This is something that we will that can generate income for you for decades on end. And land banking isn't something that you want to buy today and sell tomorrow. Always, like I was asking Christian, you want a 5-year plan. If you are investing in 2025, at the very minimum, have a goal of flipping that land in 2030, 5 years. Even if your return is 2 or 3 times what you paid for it, it's still better than remittances. One of the things that you hear about Nigeria, I'm telling you, the diasporans, you keep hearing diaspora remittances, but we are changing the topic now. It's diaspora investments. Diaspora investments. I'm not saying don't say, when I was a kid, my dad came into the US. I've been here since I was 12 years old. My dad came into the US right before I was born. So for the first 12 years, he will send money for my upkeep to my mom. As a parent, that's the right thing to do. You can send, in that regard, you can send remittances for the upkeep of your children, your minor children. But the moment that you start sending remittances to able-bodied adults, your brother that's an able-bodied person that refuses to work, your sister that refuses to work. Do you know what my dad told me when I was a kid? Actually, he didn't tell me. I discovered a letter that my dad wrote when I was like 12, 13 years old. My dad passed away in 2020. My dad passed away in San Antonio, Texas. And so I had to fly him home during the pandemic for his burial. You know what he said in that letter? I was 12. I just found out that letter 2 years ago now when I was going through. I'm the estate executor. I'm the oldest child, so I have inherited all my father's assets. So part of that comes with me uncovering a lot of information. You know what he said? My dad told me, my dad said in that letter, if I were rich, he was in Texas writing this. He said, if I were rich, I would be in Nigeria. I won't be in America. Let me say that again. My father said if he were rich, he would be in Nigeria, not America. That hit me hard. Nigerians today who are abroad, here's how you can tell if a Nigerian abroad is doing well back home. What does he have back home? That's calling him back home. What does he have? That is how you can tell. The first indicator of a Nigerian that's doing well abroad is what do they have? What investments do they have back home? That's the first indicator. If they don't have anything back home in Nigeria, it's not because they don't have the means. It's because they don't have the support system or the information. Because they've been born before. And the thing about Nigerians is if you're born a Nigerian, burn, meaning burn, meaning you burn us, meaning you steal from us, you rip us off, you've lost that person for the next 10 years. But when you deliver on your promise, I'm talking about companies like Asset Rise and Bereket Platform, where you can come in and you start seeing results on your investments. It will accelerate more investments in Nigeria with people from abroad. Because all we care about out here is results. No, nah. My wife and I, once our kids get into college, we are spending 50% of our time in Nigeria, 50% here in the US. I've already started the process. I come home every year now. My goal is every 6 months. I want to be in Nigeria every 6 months. After that, I want to be coming quarterly. This last trip that I was on, um, I met a guy at the airport, a Saba guy. We were on the same flight. He lives in Pennsylvania. I live in Nevada. This guy goes to Nigeria every other month. Do you know the kind of business he does? He deals in children's clothing. So when I tell you guys, be very, very specific and be very, very niche in what you do. He deals in children's clothing. He comes to the United States, he buys children's wear in the United States, and he sells them in Nigeria. He goes to Nigeria. His family is in Pennsylvania. He will come, stay a month, he'll go back to Nigeria a month, come back US a month. When you are successful abroad and you are successful in Nigeria, Nigeria will always call you. Nigeria is sweet when you have money. When you have systems in place in Nigeria that generates income for you. So when my father said this back in the early 90s, when my dad realized it was too late because he has spent his money on family and friends and remittances and this and that. When the light switch came on, it was already too late for him. Land, agriculture, land. He said, this is a tufa. 2 for 1. You are getting a land that's already an asset, and then you are getting palm trees on top of that land too. That's a double asset in one. This is the longest I've done this, 3 minutes. Thank you guys for tuning in. I gotta go. But visit Bereket.com. We have a webinar, Bereket.com/webinar, US Nigeria market trade webinar for Nigerians in the abroad looking at entering Nigeria, and then from Nigerian business is looking at entering the United States market. And I'm not talking about immigration. Don't call me talking about, how can I jackpot? That's not what I'm talking about. We're talking about investing. Take that hard-earned US dollars that's 1584 right now and invest it back in Nigeria. And if you're in Nigeria, start getting into the process of cross-border business, meaning you want to work outside of the borders of Nigeria by targeting, like what this company is doing right now. Hello, who is this? Like what this Hello, is this Eric? How are you? Like what this company is doing right now, this Asset Rise. Investing in an income generating asset. Can you hear me, Eric? Welcome. Go ahead and speak. We are wrapping up, so it looks like I'm going to bring you back another time. So the remittances needs to stop. The new conversation now is diaspora investments, and there is no investment out there like land and agriculture. There's all these subsectors that I talked about. If you are just tuning in, go back and watch. I talked about all these subsectors that you can tap into. Okay. Hey, Eric, if you can hear me, let's bring you in another time because it's 95 minutes now. We got to go, okay? All right. Thank you guys for watching. Like I said, Embericate.com/webinar, Embericate.com/consulting. Just visit Embericate.com and check our tabs, read about our business, read about our platform. And if you are on the, if you haven't joined our WhatsApp group, be sure to join the WhatsApp group too. Okay? All right. Talk to you guys later. All the best. Thank you for tuning in.